So hey guys, and welcome to another Warframe video, and today we're going to take a look at a max damage build for the Sonicor. Now this is a 6 or 7 Forma build, depends on whether or not you have pummel, and we're going to add 4 Vs up here and 2 or 3 dashes down here. And the mods are Hornet Strike for damage, Barrel Diffusion for multi-shot, Lethal Torrent for even more multi-shot bar, and more importantly Fire Rate, because without it there is a very awkward pause between each shot. Then we have Magnum Force, which is the equivalent of Heavy Caliber for pistols. This adds even more damage and it decreases the accuracy, which actually helps the weapon rather than hurting it. The multi-shot projectiles will fly off slightly to the side, which creates a bigger explosion, so you can be even less accurate with the weapon and it will still hit things, and that's pretty good. So it's definitely worth it. Down here we have our elemental combos and primed heated charge, because it does too much damage, right? Primed heated charge is amazing. And finally we have concussion rounds, and this is where this build is either going to be a 6 Forma build or a 7 Forma build. If you have pummel, which is a better version of concussion rounds, you can't fit it in there if you have max prime heated charge and magnum force, so that's why you have to add another dash. Now, the Sonicor is absolutely amazing. It does a ton of damage, even though it doesn't have to do a ton of damage to be a useful weapon, because it does something that many other weapons don't. Utility. The ragdoll effect is simply amazing. It doesn't matter what the enemy level is, you're still gonna ragdoll them. They can be level 2 billion or level 10. Now, since you don't need to do a ton of damage with this weapon for it to be useful, you can remove virtually any mod from this build and replace it with a utility-based mod. So if you don't like the long reload time, you can slap a reload mod onto it. Or if you don't like the limited range, you can slap a range mod onto it. Or maybe you don't like the fire rate, you would like to fire faster, so put a fire rate mod onto it. It doesn't matter. But because the base damage is so high, a max damage build like this one is very potent as well. I mean, you're going to be one-shotting things going up to level sort of 40, 50-ish. And hey, if they don't die, they're ragdolled, so shoot them again. There is absolutely no reason why you should not have the Sonicor. You can buy the blueprint of the market and get the resources within a couple of hours. And for that, you're gonna get a weapon that's really fun to use, it does a ton of damage, and it has a lot of utility. Now, I should also talk about blast damage, because blast damage is really funny with the Sonicor. The ragdoll from blast damage stacks with the ragdoll from the explosion, and it creates some really funny situations, because you can fire enemies literally miles into the air. But please be careful when you're doing something like a capture mission, because on more than one occasion I fired my capture target into the ceiling and I couldn't finish the mission. So all in all, this is probably the best weapon in the game as far as crowd control is concerned. You should definitely get it, and with this build it also does a ton of bloody damage. So I thank you very much for watching once again, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.